Hi guys, welcome back to the Wrestling Folks podcast. This is Jeevan Punk, Chris Rhodes, and Jazz Cena, and we welcome you to Terrific Thursdays with the Wrestling Folks.
Welcome, people. Welcome back to the Wrestling Folks podcast after a short commercial break. This is Chris Rhodes.
This is G1 Punk.
And Jazz Cena's off on official duty, so he's not going to be joining us today. And we're really sorry for all the breaks that we've been taking over time. Medical stuff has been coming up and life happens, so we've had to take off for a few weeks. But we're back and we're in full force. Now we're going to continue recording. We've got amazing stuff to discuss. We've got amazing stuff to rant about, and we're going to start off right away with arguably the biggest news that has broken over the course of the last week, which is the release of Andrade from WWE. Now, Andrade has been released from WWE, surprising, out of nowhere. Turns out there are quite a few reasons for that. He's failed the wellness policy. He went out of reach for the WWE creative team specifically. Among other things, that those have been the biggest problems. He complains that they haven't had any creative stuff for him, which is why he went out of reach. So there's a big package to unpack, and I'd like to go over to my friend Punk, who will have a lot to say about this. I'm confident. So take it away, Jeevan.
The more things change, the more they remain the same for Andrade, isn't it? Isn't it? So, Andrade is basically the same guy who might go to AEW after WWE, after AEW, after WWE. He might not go to AEW, but I expect him in CMLL or at least MLW. To get this story straight, Andrade was supposed to win the tag titles with Rey Fenix from Wyatt 6.
That was something happened in Paris, apparently.
Yeah, that was supposed to happen in Paris. And the replacement was Street Fighters, not Street Fighters.
Straight profits.
Street Fighters. And then this suddenly, and you just don't expect this to happen. It least in the Vince era, you get like a occasional tweet that this person has been let go for dash and dash region, and one day someone just saw him that he is in the alumni page and he's gone.
Yeah.
When he's gone,
The most surprising aspect of all of this for me is that he left WWE for AEW, right? And then he was paired with Vicky Guerrero on AEW. On people that he could have been paired with, he was paired with Vicky Guerrero. And Vicky Guerrero left him. Not the relationship way, but Vicky Guerrero left him. And she went back to WWE. This dude married Ric Flair's daughter, went back to WWE. They broke up because of personal reasons, and he still stayed with WWE. And then he decides, oh, this is a good time, and he burns his bridge with WWE yet again. So he's burnt his bridge with AEW successfully, and then he's done it with WWE. Now, as of today, he's apparently called out MJF for a hair versus mask match at CMLL. And he's calling names, but yeah, and MJF had a great answer for him, but I don't think he's going back to AEW. I don't think Tony will have a chance to reevaluate his opinion about Andrade, because the wellness policy is the biggest aspect of all of this. He takes the wellness policy, which will mean that he's doing PEDs, which I don't think AEW will accept either. I'm pretty sure they have a very strict wellness policy as well. So I don't see him going back to AEW either. But if Tony is considerate enough of taking him back, at least give him a good run this time.
I think Andrade had a much better run in AEW than he had in WWE.
See, his first run with Zelina Vega on NXT was great.
Yeah, that was generational stuff, but after that, there was nothing. He came to the main roster.
He treated Vince's hands.
Yeah, exactly.
That's like the only thing you need to say about his first run in WWE on the main roster. He went straight into Vince time. There was nothing for him.
In his second run, he's just facing guys from his region. He's facing either LWO or whatever who they are, right?
See, his plausible partnership with Ray Phoenix really had some potential because they did some amazing matches. But yeah, he's basically killed his one opportunity at Hold in his second run. So I don't see any other way to put it or to talk about it. And then if we can move on, right?
Yeah, I guess we can move on from this. This is just weird stuff that's happening. And this is not the only thing with WWE. WWE it has been weird lately a lot. And something we haven't got to discuss, right? AJ Lee is back.
Oh yeah, AJ Lee is back. We haven't had a chance to discuss that yet. We could have moved on to it. That was the perfect segue. So AJ Lee is back. This is like a husband and wife feud, which honestly I wouldn't want to see, but Becky Lynch was too insecure. I'd like to believe to like just let things slide the way they were supposed to. So
I I have two aspects on this, right? First thing, I feel that this was not a good idea to bring AJ Lee back. Second, it was the best idea for AJ to be back. Because it makes sense. If Seth is going in with Becky, it makes sense that CM Punk's wife should come in and help him.
yeah.
It makes sense. Would I want it? No. But at least she's back.
Yeah. And she's actually a pretty good wrestler. She's not as bad as some of the other people. Like, I'm not throwing shade at I'm not throwing shade at people, but Nikki Bella herself, accepted that she found it incredibly difficult to hit her finisher in her first match since her return.
Right.
I mean, if you compare it to that, I think AJ Lee is better, but Nikki Bella has her host of issues with her body, so you can't say it's a bad wrestler.
Even I think she had mentioned AJ had neck issues as well. So it's not like she doesn't. She does too. But it's very weird for me to see her like this, and it's fine now. We are just gonna see her the way she is. But it's just come to me right now what I see. That this whole AJ and Becky part has made the Seth and Punk story more entertaining. And it has nothing to do with the men. It has everything to do with Becky.
Yeah.
Every time Becky is on the screen, I feel like this is what a generational star looks like.
Yeah. She's one of the best to do it.
She is genuinely the best to do. She can be that cocky baby face, and then she can be this chicken shit / cocky heel.
Yes.
Everything she wants.
See, the way that I see it, I honestly wouldn't want to see the women get involved in the men's business. Like, you want to give me another 5 matches of Seth and Punk, I will watch it because both of them together know how to put together a match that will entertain the people, right? They can do it over and over and over and over. They've got such great chemistry that they can keep doing it over and over. You want to do a program with the women? See, you can do a program separately with the women. You can bring in AJ Lee to fight Becky, because Becky's saying I'm the greatest wrestler alive and there's no one better than me. You can build around that because she keeps bringing up Pro Sports Illustrated all the time, and she keeps bringing up New York Times, the fact that she's a New York Times bestseller author. So AJ Lee is also a New York Times bestseller author. So
AJ Lee first. She made sure to remind us that.
Yeah. See, exactly. See, my point is, you have so much other stuff to build around to build a feud between Becky Lynch and AJ Lee if you want AJ back. I don't feel like this is the right way to do it personally. I'm not very entertained by the feud. I'm happy by the fact that AJ Lee is back and that we're going to get to see her in the ring again, Becky Lynch, for her return. But that's about where the novelty ends for me. I don't see the point in having this husband and wife feud happen. See,
It should be a one-time thing only.
I hope this is a one-time thing. I'm really praying for it to be a one-time thing. If it's more than one time, I don't know. ESPN might have paid a little too much for them.
Yeah, I hope so. It's just one time because if it isn't, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, since I've brought up ESPN, that will directly link it to Wrestlepalooza, which is a paper premium live event that they're running especially for ESPN. And the biggest headline of this is John Cena's match again.
I'll give my 2 cents. You take your 2 cents, and I think we will move on from this. There's no point. It's just a way for them to bring him back, right? And it is just to justify it. What I expect from it is that's where we'll see John Cena's final reporting. That is probably it's Gunther who will return and beat up John Cena, and we'll see his final match. Do I wish it was someone else like Drew McIntyre, or my other better preference, that is Obafemi? I don't think the WWE can do that now.
Obafemi is going into a great program with Trick Williams. No? It's going to stay the face of NXT for a little longer.
He is so good that he has become a babyface, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I read about today's NXT and he's going to have a match with Trick for winner takes all, like NXT and TNA championship.
I think it is just it's just a stipulation. I expect we are just moving to tangents, but just one last thing. I think they'll just have invasion angle with TNA, and TNA will just invade NXT. That is just where stipulation is right now, and the way things are, because we saw the tweets from TNA and that they are not happy. So I'm expecting that they'll just invade it during that match, and it is a bit too late for making it when it should have been done. But I have more and better hopes from Shawn Michaels than I have with Triple H, to be honest. So we'll see what happens. But yeah,
so coming back, John Cena's retirement. So I see your point with bringing in, great NXT talent like Obafemi to be John Cena's final match. Great. It's been made official that John Cena's final appearance will be in Madison Square Garden, which is where his legendary Royal Rumble return happened. So I don't know. I see Gunther to be his final opponent. I think that would be a good direction to go. It's not the best direction, but it is a good direction to go. But the way that they're taking it that way is not great, because his Wrestlepalooza match just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I understand his history with Brock, but no, John Cena and Brock Lesnar is not something that I want for John Cena's retirement tour. I want to see John Cena versus Carmelo Hayes. 2 Boston boys beating it out in Boston. I'd love to see that.
I have no hopes for WWE right now. I have no idea what they're going to do with WrestleMania.
See,
Because
Hunter has killed it firsthand. I'll tell you why. This happened today. This time, War Games is going to be Team Triple H versus Team HBK, because Hunter wants to come back to NXT.
this was just a segment. It's not going to happen.
No, they're still going to have a War Games match between the 2 teams. William Regal, William Mack. So I'd like to.
They said I don't think that's happening. I don't think that's happening. I think it was just a fun segment that they wanted to do. I think they'll do. I don't think they'll do that. It would be a very, very stupid idea to do that, honestly.
That they're murdering the creative at this point.
Yeah, they're just murdering the creative. I don't think that's what they're doing. Honestly, it would have been a very good idea if they were, but will not do that.
Yeah.
They will not do that.
I hate the fact that I don't get to see Carmelo Hayes versus John Cena. See, I'm not mad about Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes is not going to say he's like the best thing to have happened to pro wrestling since John Cena coming out of Boston, but the kid is good.
He should be a mid-card champion right now.
Yeah, he should be a mid-card champion. See, I agree with that just as much as you would. But my other thing is, he can do shit in the ring that most people can't manage to do. And I'd love to see him try to do that with John Cena, because John Cena's US Open Challenge, the legendary US Open Challenge, was basically something that they introduced storyline wise to bring in moments like these into TV. Right?
Sami Zayn's debut, Kevin Owens' debut.
Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Cesaro got a match.
Have a good debut with him.
Alberto Del Rio. See, honestly, I'm not mad about Alberto Del Rio either. He's just a wife. He's just another wife beater who's just around. But see, the way that I see it, you watch John Cena versus Sami Zayn, you watch John Cena versus Kevin Owens, you watch John Cena versus Cesaro. In those open US title matches, those things are legendary, and he introduced that for a reason. He wanted to showcase talent like this, and just bringing Carmelo Hayes as his poetic successor out of Boston would make so much more sense for me than Brock Lesnar.
John Cena constantly says that he's not someone who's dealing with his creative, right? He has given it, and he's just dealing with whatever that they are giving him.
She's dealing with whatever it's been dealt.
Just one thing. Motherfucker, you're John Cena.
Yeah.
If you see that this segments and everything is shit, just give us something better. It's your fucking legacy which is on the line. It's your fucking legacy, bro. I mean, do I want to imagine when I go think back when I'm 40, 50 years old and I have my children and I'm telling them, yeah, there was a John Cena, and how did he retire?
Salt Lake City.
How did you retire? How was it? You got your whole year for your retirement, and you fucking deserved it. You're one of those guys who actually deserves it. And what did they do to you? I constantly think of the way Triple H thought of John Cena in the early 2000s, that he could not wrestle, he was just a bodybuilder. And I think he still feels the same. He acts like he doesn't, and he's dealing him shit.
Honestly,
because he became a bigger star than you.
Honestly, see, the way that I see it, John Cena has become too big of a yes man.
100%.
That's the only bad thing that I have to say about his entire 25-year career. He's too big of a yes man. Like CM Punk has put it very vividly in his pipe bomb. But yeah, see, honestly, he has every right to do whatever he wants to do with his retirement tour because he fucking earned it. But him doing stuff like this is just depressing. I mean, there's only 6 dates left, and at this point, it's making me feel like it's only 6 more times I have to endure all of this before I can, cry my eyes out that John Cena is finally retiring and my childhood is officially over. I can put myself to sleep thinking that it's that bad. Right? So,
when I got too much into wrestling, I realized wrestling was more than promos and everything else. I felt John Cena was overrated.
Yeah. I had the feeling too.
Everyone felt that once they got into pro wrestling, once they got into ROH, NJPW, and everything else. Everyone thought of that. When I saw him again at Money in the Bank in 2024, or I think it was 2024, when he said that he's going to retire.
Yeah, that was Money in the Bank 24.
Yeah, I said, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there is something more. When I saw him turn heel, I felt something. When he did not win the Royal Rumble, I broke my heart that day.
Yeah, I know. I remember the feeling. It was the same for me.
It broke my heart. And this is what he do. And when he turned heel, I was over the moon, like they are doing something generational.
Yeah.
And then he had his match with Cody Rhodes. And I just heard, come. And we just,
Heard all of that heel power had made.
that match was horrible.
I know. I totally agree with you.
And it is not even like it was horrible. But if I compare to any NJPW matches or something, no, that match was just horrible overall.
It was horrible compared to John Cena matches.
Yeah, there are worse zones in the matches, but when that guy locks in, he locks in.
Yeah, I know.
He did the shit.
See, honestly, the way that I see it, I think. See, we can put this to sleep by thinking this Triple H is absolutely murdering all of creative. And I don't see a way out anytime soon. Right?
I don't.
Yeah. So moving on from one bad storyline to another. Jey Uso. They're officially making him the next tribal chief. They want to bring back the whole Roman hype. See, I loved Roman as the head of the table, as the tribal chief, everything. It was a fresh outlook on his character. It was a fresh character for him in 2020, right? Because he was being pushed as the top guy, but people absolutely hated him for a top guy, right? So the head of the table, the tribal chief persona, basically put a new spin on him, and it made people actually like him. Personally, that is what I think. See, he was working as a massive heel. He was working with Paul Heyman, all of that. But then he had the crowd engaged. Like, even through his matches, he was taunting the crowd just as he was taunting his wrestlers, right? Now, they're trying to do the same thing with Jey Uso. I don't see the point, because Jey Uso has never been such a polarizing figure in any sense.
He's just polarizing figure in the terms that he's a horrible wrestler.
No, he's not a horrible wrestler.
Like what people say, guys, not me. Not me.
See, he's not a horrible technician. He's a horrible guy on the mic. He's a horrible mic worker. He's not a horrible wrestler. He's actually pretty good at what he does in the ring. See, my biggest gripe is they see something similar to Roman. Roman was very bad on the mic before he became the head of the table, if you remember. So I think they're seeing that on Jay as well, and I think they're trying to put the same thing onto Jay to make him a better worker, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to work because I don't know. I just have a bad feeling about it in my gut. I don't see Jey Uso as the tribal chief or whatever, or him like taking over the mantle in any way. I don't think it's worthwhile.
I feel that Jey Uso has that caliber. He can do a lot. But what he doesn't have is that same bar that Roman has.
Yeah, exactly.
He's not at Roman's level, right? He does not have anything.
He can never reach level either. That's the thing. So yeah, I don't know. And their whole match, the Usos reunion, I'm happy about it, but yeah, the match that they're getting at Wrestlepalooza is an insult to that reunion.
I agree. Bought in every night, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna do something as well.
Yeah. He's gonna fuck with the match, I'm pretty sure. So it's just an insult to the whole reunion personally, and I hate it.
Yeah.
So, and then we can conveniently move on from this bad storyline to the next one because everything's bad right now, right? And Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill. They're calling it a draw while it was actually a double count out. Both of them were counted out because they were outside the ring, and they're calling it a. Who are they trying to fool?
I completely forgot that she's world champion. She's still world champion.
Dude, she was. I mean, I don't know if you're a huge anime junkie or whatever, but in anime there are these episodes called filler episodes that they put in between sagas. Like my favorite anime, and the only anime that I've ever watched is Dragon Ball Z. So in Dragon Ball Z, when there are, I mean, between two villains, there's like 4 or 5 episodes that they have there just to, like, build upon character arc or whatever. They're called filler. They're just there to place hold between the two sagas. I think they've done the same thing with Tiffany Stratton. She's just being like a filler for all the episodes that they're running these days. She's supposed to be world champion, but she's not.
I think they have just understood that she's not on that caliber, and they're just waiting for someone better. And same goes for Jade Cargill.
Dude, Jade Cargill hasn't got what it takes to become world champion yet. See, she's a great in-ring worker. Not going to crochet at her for it. She's a great athlete. Her mic work needs a lot of work, and her general demeanor also needs a lot of work. I mean, I know Hunter is trying to bring her up or whatever, but the effort is not visible enough for me to agree that she can become she's world champion material right now. So I don't see Jade Cargill anytime soon, but she is the future of this business. I can tell you that with the if she works in the right direction, she will be the future of this business, like Shaq put it. So yeah, and if we move on from this storyline to the next, right? Sure. There's another beautiful storyline. Let me pull it up really quick. Where was that? We've done George versus Jeans. Down. Oh yeah, her boyfriend. We can move on to her boyfriend / fiance, El Grande American. Like Ludwig Kaiser, Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate. Dude, why are you ruining great talent by putting that mask on them?
We haven't discussed the Raw of yesterday. There are 3 El Grande Americanos.
No, El Grande Americano, Dos Americano, Tres Americano. Why? Like, why? Why are we doing?
Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. You guys you had Triple H. You had these two since they were 22 years old.
Dude, you had the New Catch Republic, which was doing amazingly well.
And you generally don't have tag teams right now. I would just put the straps on them right away. Why is Spirit Balor?
They're amazing technical workers. I don't understand why they're big. See, Pete Dunne is working as a producer apparently for the AAA.
With NXT.
No, he's working as a producer for AAA, not NXT.
Okay.
He produced the Dominic Mysterio match at Worlds Collide.
Yeah.
Okay. So Pete Dunne is working as a producer, and I understand he's looking at future prospects, and I'm happy that he's trying to do that, but his in-ring legacy is not something that's worth it to wear a mask like that and just throw it down the drain. It's not.
I mean, if he's satisfied with his legacy, I'm okay. But I just feel this is mediocrity just forced on him right now.
At this point, I think we can create a segment every week with the title, "When will this parasite known as El Grande Americano die?"
This is stretched. This is that's way too.
It's basically a rubber band that's ready to rip, and I hate it. I hate it so hard that I'm pretty sure we've run out of things to discuss on the WWE. Oh, there's one thing. Cody Rhodes' big return on SmackDown. He's going to
It was away for 1 month as a WWE champion, by the way. We were cheering Roman for that. He was shooting a movie, but still, he was away, right? And you're butchering Roman for that.
Yeah, people were ripping on Roman for that. I know, but we're getting a match at Wrestlepalooza. Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre. I think Drew McIntyre has a real chance at winning this, and this will be the way that they can write Cody off TV so he can finish the Street Fighter movie.
I wish so. I wish.
And I'd like to see heel Drew McIntyre as champion.
Pete,
Yeah, that would be a good direction to go.
I wish and I hope that this match was built better at a better.
Yeah. You know, but we're at least getting the match, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah, again, it's WWE.
Yeah, I know. So I'm pretty sure we've covered all the big talking points on the WWE side, so we can conveniently move on to the next one, AEW. So the biggest talking point in all of AEW is always going to be the counter programming part. Right? You can never get rid of it.
I genuinely don't understand why.
I don't know. I think Hunter has it out for them somehow. I think TKO is forcing them to do it because TKO wants to monopolize the business. I mean, it is evident from the fact that they think the ticket prices are still too low. The cheap seats at the top of the arena are they used to be $25 per wins for snatch up. Yeah, I think now the cheap seats are around $180 or something. It's just too bad. I mean, TKO, I understand what they're looking at as business, but yeah, they're just doing it all wrong.
They don't have it. I think it is just cannibalizing. It's not cannibalizing AEW. It's cannibalizing it is cannibalizing the whole wrestling industry.
Yeah, it's cannibalizing the entire business. They're basically killing any interest in the entire business now. But Tony's at least trying to make sure that it doesn't go like that and that people have some semblance of cheap tickets. I've read somewhere that Tony's trying very hard to really push the ticket prices down, and that he's also having talent like Ricochet actually go online on platforms and tell them that if you find WWE to be too expensive, you can always come to AEW shows. We have pretty competitively priced tickets and we can promise that you will have a good time and stuff like that. So
Even if they are not doing that, even if they are doing it by their own reasons, it makes sense for a talent to go through. Something that I've noticed with AEW talent, that they push their company much more than WWE talent.
yeah,
At least in this segment of cannibalizing another wrestling industry, because a lot of AEW talent is actually friends with WWE talent or is married to them.
Yeah.
Like Buddy Matthews is married to Rhea Ripley. It's simple. They don't want that company shuts down. That's not something that they want.
yeah. See, the way that I see it, honestly, there's a way to do business, and TKO doesn't understand it. See, UFC is a whole different prospect to WWE. UFC, you can sell the tickets for thousands of dollars and people will buy it because it's a whole different industry, it's a whole different
Yeah.
architecture. WWE is not like that. If you're to bring in the UFC model into WWE, it absolutely makes zero sense and it will kill the business. So it will work out in AEW's favor eventually. So the sooner that they realize that, it will work out. And in terms of the counter programming, I think TK was trying to strong arm AEW basically, right? Because they know they're the biggest company in the world, and when they host a show, people will want to watch them over AEW. So I don't know. They're putting up mediocre shows, but they're saying, we are the biggest company, we host the best shows on the planet, whatever. But I think they're actually killing their own business slowly. Right? The counter programming thing.
Yeah, it's pretty hard because if it comes down to money, right? Inflation is real, and if I have to spend $25 and $80, I am still going to spend $25.
Dude, anybody in their right mind will do the same thing. Say,
AEW pay-per-views are much better than WWE pay-per-views, and you can just go and watch a Raw which might be priced 50% or 70% less, and you'll see the same thing.
just imagine this. Imagine some dude who has a kid who are both pro wrestling fans, right? They want to have fun together on a Monday night, right? They want to go to Raw. They go to ticket stand. If the guy says each ticket is $180, that's $360. Even for a guy that makes $100K a year, it is not a small expense by any means, right?
Exactly.
If the same guy walks into the same arena on a Thursday when Dynamite is going on, and if the guy says the tickets are $50, you can get all the beer you want on your credit card or whatever, he will happily go in because it's $50 and he can spend all the other money on beer, chicken nuggets, whatever.
What he wants to eat, yeah.
So it just makes more sense for people to do that. And the other thing is, I've read this online. WWE has been aggressively pushing something called the Priority Pass.
Yeah.
The Priority Pass is a massive joke. Clash in Paris was their biggest failure. So some dude with a gold Priority Pass, he paid something like $2,700 or something for it. They started letting people in 45 minutes after the show started. They couldn't, they're supposed to get food and drinks along with their ticket. They never did get any food or drinks, like enough food or drinks. It's supposed to be unlimited. They couldn't get enough beer for people. They couldn't get enough food for people. So they basically just killed the entire experience in one go. And yeah, see, at the end of the day, them counter programming AEW is fine, but they have a lot of other factors to worry about before they start.
Audit isn't great. That is something that they should do first.
Exactly. See, if their product isn't great, their planning isn't great. They need to work on that first before they try to strong arm other companies into survive.
Yeah.
Right? So, talking about All Elite Wrestling, the men's champion Hangman is going to face Kyle Fletcher for the championship at All Out, and that is a match that I'm looking forward to because...
And that was reportedly, by the way, it was going to be Wardlow, but it happens to be now.
Okay, Wardlow re-injured his pec.
Let's talk about it, right? What a fucking luck, man. What a fucking horrible luck a person can have.
Dude, he was arguably the biggest return at All In. No, not All In, at Forbidden Door.
That man can't catch a break. He can't catch a break.
Poor guy, man. I am so behind him for how good he is in the ring. See, there are instances of him being unsafe, but it's not so bad like some of the other people on this list, right? There have been instances of him being an unsafe worker, but there are more instances of him being a much more safer worker. And for him to go through this just hurts people a lot, including people like me and you, because he'll just go back to being a backstage producer like he's been doing since he was injured the last time.
And this is heartbreaking. Genuinely heartbreaking. I can't I can't imagine to feel for the guy. He wasn't feeling shit right now.
Dude, he was supposed to have this massive return in Philadelphia, dude. They've been running AEW shows in Philadelphia for 3 weeks, and they haven't had a chance to bring in their hometown hero Wardlow into this. How sad is that? See, they have two hometown heroes from Philly. One is Wardlow, the other is Britt Baker. Britt Baker is on her way out of this company, so she will not be featured. But Wardlow is like their biggest star out of Philly. And for him to not be there is the saddest part, personally. I don't like
Big scrub.
his return. The way that they built his return at Forbidden Door was amazing. And him injuring his pec, re-injuring his pec like that is heartbreaking.
I can't imagine. I genuinely, I read the news and I just had my face and on my forehead. This was
But see,
high.
honestly, I think Kyle Fletcher versus Hangman Page will still be a good match. I'd like to believe so because Kyle Fletcher has been a great in-ring technician, just like Hanger has always been.
Yeah,
Kyle has been trained by some amazing people. One of them being Osprey. So I think they will put up a good match. And the fact that Don Callis' family is not going to interfere is a joke, but yeah, if they don't get involved and if it's just Hanger and Kyle going at it, I would pay to watch that.
me too. Me too. I'll watch that match either way. I'll watch AEW pay-per-views overall. I prefer their matches 100% more. I prefer their pay-per-views.
Yeah,
So I'll watch that, but just thinking of Wardlow, man. String off from love for Wardlow. Feel all will be fine.
going on from one great injured wrestler to the other. Kenny Omega's going off on a break again. He's going to Japan. See, I was reading on Twitter the other day and some random dude, he's not some random dude. He's probably a wrestling journalist. I don't remember his name, but he actually put out an opinion that I do agree with, right? See, at this point, they can have Kenny Omega just build a match around taking a bunch of offense and then just use a bunch of V triggers and the one-winged angel to end the match and win or lose or whatever. And it still be a great match because that is how good.
It's just that's just Kenny Omega match.
Yeah. So, I mean, if his body agrees with him, I think they have to take that route because that is going to be the best way forward for the fans and for Kenny as well. Kenny can let his body catch a break every now and then. So, and I really wanted to see a Kenny Omega Hangman at a big reunion, but we're not getting it, so it's fine right now.
Yeah, we get the rivals.
And well, now that we've covered half of the elite, let's go to the other half now, the Young Bucks. I love how they're absolutely obliterating them week after week.
I love it too. I am openly not a fan of the Young Bucks, huge fan at least. But I love the way that they are okay with making fun of themselves, right?
Yeah. No, and their mugshots turned up this week on the Titan person.
I love it too. I genuinely feel like they are one of the best talents in the whole industry right now.
Dude, they're up there in terms of the best tag teams with the Usos, the New Day. The New Day with Big E. I mean,
Yeah, with Biggie.
yeah, they're up there, dude. They're one of the best tag teams of this industry, and there's nothing that will sway it otherwise. And the fact that they're at a point in life where they can be okay with being made fun of like that is also really cool.
Yeah.
And honestly, my only gripe is that they're being associated with the Death Riders over and over and over and over and over and over again. It's painful to see that.
I would also agree.
Yeah, just let the Death Riders die. They just don't make any sense. And to have Danny Garcia join them out of nowhere it's just a travesty. I don't know why we're still getting the Death Riders.
I did not understand why they would turn Danny Garcia heel.
I think they're trying to kill his career. I think he's on his way out, or he's yet to sign a new deal.
Dude, he signed last year.
Then this is probably punishment for aligning himself with Nigel McInnes.
I don't know. I don't know.
I absolutely hate the Death Riders. I hope our audience understands how much I hate them. I mean, I'm not being really aggressive with my tone or whatever, but I just hope the message goes through to our audience about how much I hate the Death Riders. So,
I think they do. I think they did. I feel the same. Like, I think at least since they have lost the world title, they have been much better to digest.
slightly, ever so slightly.
Ever so slightly, yes. But they have been better. But overall, I can't bear them.
Dude, see, initially, fine. You wanted to break up Daniel Bryan from the whole system, and Bryan Danielson from the whole system, so you had to have them disassociate themselves from the Blackpool Combat Club. Fine, you created a new stable called the Death Riders or whatever, fine. But what's the direction after that? Like, what has been their biggest direction after that? Jon Moxley chasing the world championship. That is their biggest achievement since then. No, I wouldn't agree with that, because the Blackpool Combat Club, even when it was broken away is, and when everybody was chasing the individual storylines, it still made so much more sense than what the Death Riders are making now. And if Darby Allin is going to be the guy that will kill the Death Rider, I think it's...
Why hasn't he done it already? That's my point.
See, if Darby Allin is the guy that is going to kill the Death Riders, I think I can say, knowing the fact that a pillar of AEW is actually trying to keep it up. Hold down the fort.
Yeah,
At least one pillar is.
it is one pillar, yes.
So I can go to sleep thinking of it that way. And honestly, I wanted to see Darby Allin versus Jon Moxley at Forbidden Door, but we didn't get that. I think we were talking about it in one of our older podcasts, and we actually named it that way, hoping for a match at, Forbidden Door.
Yeah.
But seeing that we're at least getting it at All Out is fine. I just don't want to see Wheeler Yuta either on my screen.
So I agree, dude. I've never got him. I feel he is a great technician, but I just don't get why I should be interested in him. Or I genuinely don't.
I don't think he's a great technician either. He's not a great technician. He's just he's just a limited moveset guy. Dude, he might have learned some stuff from Bryan Danielson, but he's only learned some of it, and he just uses that little bit. He's not a great wrestler. He's not a great mic guy. He's not a great presence.
Yeah, he's not at that level. I agree on that. He's not on the. He lacks charisma. That's what he lacks charisma, and that's the only problem I feel that he has.
Yeah, dude. He lacks charisma. He lacks character. His character is basically non-existent.
His starter basically is that I'm a fan of these wrestlers.
Yeah, exactly. So,
And
Yeah.
sort of character.
Yeah, Wheeler Utah needs to go.
You would have told a story where Claudio was just bullying him constantly and you would take a step. You haven't done that.
Yeah, you have Claudio bullying him, you have Moxley bullying him, and
I think the only person who is evil in that group is Claudio, because that guy, that motherfucker just wants to see people fight.
yeah,
That's the only thing he wants to see, right? I just want to see them fight. That's it.
yeah, no, but see, Claudio is a decent in-ring technician, thankfully for the Death Riders, but yeah, they're actually misusing him a lot too. Hey, if I want Eddie Kingston to come back and I want Eddie Kingston to murder Claudio, then
I agree 100%. That's what we were talking about, right? If you're bringing back Eddie Kingston, then I just not let him kill him. It makes much more sense to do him. The whole Death Riders have a much bigger story.
they have so much more going for them that Eddie Kingston can come and he can murder Wheeler Utah, he can murder Claudio Castagnoli, he can murder Moxley, he can murder Daniel Garcia, he can murder Rita Shafir for that.
He can do so much, but he isn't doing shit. That's it.
It all out. That's the big news.
Yeah, that's the only big news.
Yeah, so
He's wrestling Big Cass for some reasons.
Big Bill.
Big Bill, sorry. Big Bill, not Big Cass. Big Cass was what is he gave? But yeah.
Big Cass is bad memory. So back anyhow, thanks for that image. It's not going to leave me for the rest of the night. Yeah. Coming back.
No problem, my man.
Yeah. So Big Bill and Eddie Kingston is not a great program for Eddie Kingston, I'd like to believe, because the last time we saw Eddie Kingston was brutally murdered by Kazuchika Okada.
And that's some way that you could have started. But I guess you want to do Okada versus Takeshita.
Takeshita. Yeah, Takeshita is also going to be a great feud because Takeshita is amazing.
Everything AEW needs right now.
Dude, his biggest negative right now is that he's associated with the Don Callis family. If he falls out of that family, he will become the biggest babyface that company has ever seen outside of the league.
100%.
Takeshita has that caliber. Takeshita has that potential, and dude's built like a fucking tank. Dude wrestles.
That dude's everything that you need. He's everything that you need.
He's like the new age Tomohiro Ishii meets Kazuchika Okada, basically.
That's a very interesting way to say that, but yeah, I agree.
Dude, he's got the technical expertise of Kazuchika Okada. He's got the eat that guy's punches and make him eat mine just as hard mentality of Tomohiro Ishii. I mean, he's like the perfect combination of Japanese pro wrestling that AEW can find today. And him winning the G1 climax is also a great way to put him on the map.
He's sensational, man. He's sensational. Takeshita is sensational. I just hope they do justice with him right now.
Yeah, see, if he's going to Wrestle Kingdom and if he's losing at Wrestle Kingdom to Zack Sabre Jr., I'm okay with it. I'm not going to tie over the fact that, Zack Sabre Jr. was the better wrestler of the two.
I would also wanted to talk about it. I felt that NJPW is just putting themselves down by giving AEW talent World Championship matches. They don't know what they use.
See, the thing there is, at the end of the day, they do have a working relationship.
They are 50-50, unlike WWE and TNS.
Yeah, I think at some point, Tony gets more pay in this whole enterprise, sadly. So I think that is one thing. And the other thing is, while Takeshita is signed to AEW. He is not exclusively signed to AEW. He also has a contract with NJPW and with Stardom
He has your contract.
and the DDT. So Hiroshi Tanahashi's decision of having him win the G1 climax makes so much more sense to me than Tony actually pushing Tanahashi-san into having Takeshita win the G1 climax. That doesn't make any sense to me. So if Tanahashi-san made that decision, it's amazing. And it is the right direction to take to build a Japanese wrestler for the future of this industry.
He is a global star, I feel. And
There's no doubt about it.
so combining him with Japan and the US market makes 100% sense for me. But he should be 50. If he's 50-50 everywhere, he's not 100% anywhere.
Yeah. So, I mean, dude, the way that I see it, I think at some point AEW will start giving him his monster push and put the World Championship on him or the Unified Championship. I think there will be an Okada versus Takeshita match.
I think he's doomed for that. He needs to win that. He should be the babyface who takes it out of it.
Yeah, and I don't want Okada in the Don Callis family either. Okada's being wasted.
How do you have just has realized that he's a 3-star Okada and he's doing everything he needs and he's like, yeah, I'll just take the money and keep.
I understand his heel tactics of, I'm Kazuchika Okada, my name is, people. So, see, I get that, but at the end of the day, if you look at it, Kazuchika Okada is arguably one of the best wrestlers we have on the face of this planet today. To see that go to waste like that, it breaks my heart. Hard. Because I am a Kazuchika Okada fan because of Kenny Omega, because of their legendary 3 matches. You were to get those matches, 3W matches, won at Dominic at Wrestle King.
Jin makes to stop, isn't it? Jin makes to stop. The makes to stop. I agree.
Those matches have shown me what Okada can do and what Omega can do, and to see Okada throwing away his talent like this is so heartbreaking. This episode basically has been coming up a bunch of heartbreak from us.
Just jointing about it. But I think you guys will enjoy it because we just put our heart in today. I just want to break a fourth wall. I can't see you, Chris. My laptop screen has frozen and I can see that I am able to record and you are able to see me. I've just continued the discussion and I got you from this halfway call.
Great thing about Leaf.
I'm just like, okay, man, I don't care. I'm just going to deal with this.
As long as you can cure me, it's fine. And dude, honestly, see, AEW has been doing so much better. And in terms of storylines, in terms of everything else. And I'm looking forward to All Out Toronto more than I am.
Yes, it's a
Yeah, my biggest selling point for Wrestlepalooza at this point is the return of Pat McAfee because I'm a huge fan.
How do you? I did not knew that.
Yeah, I am a huge fan. Very, how was it? See, his humor is very niche.
Sure.
So his humor is very niche and I find it funny, so I am a Pat McAfee fan, so that is like my biggest selling point at this point, that Pat McAfee is coming back at Wrestlepalooza.
See.
Otherwise, I really don't see the point in watching that. And probably Stephanie Wacker versus Io Sky, that's like the other.
That would be a very good match.
Yeah. That's probably the only other selling point for me. And they're teasing Liv Morgan's return, but Liv Morgan's not coming back at Wrestle.
Not this early. I think she might need some more time.
She's on great painkillers. as evidenced by the Saudi press meet. Yeah, and WrestleMania is going to Saudi
Not discuss the WrestleMania is going to Saudi Arabia.
WWE real quickly. So we're going to discuss this massive headline where Royal Rumble and WrestleMania are going to Saudi for 2026.
Yeah.
No, 27, 27.
27, 26 about Royal Rumble that is going to be in Saudi. That was announced last year.
Yeah, so 20. So for the people that are unaware, WWE just signed a landmark deal with the government of Saudi Arabia where they promised that they're going to host 2027's Royal Rumble and WrestleMania in the city of Riyadh. So Hunter was there, Shawn Michaels was there, The Undertaker was there, Bianca Belair was there, Logan Paul was there, Liv Morgan, and apparently the only person happy about it was Liv Morgan, and I think I know the reason why she was so happy, because she was on like really strong opioid painkiller.
Yep.
So I am really not surprised that Liv Morgan was smiling throughout the press meet while Logan Paul was still pissed off about it. And reportedly, the government of Saudi Arabia has agreed to pay WWE $350 million to host the two landmark events in the city of Riyadh, $100 million for Royal Rumble and $250 million for WrestleMania. We were supposed to get a WrestleMania in London. Remember that?
You remember Shah Khan holding that?
Dude, there's so many others that need to bring back at this point that Hunter will come looking for us.
He in
The fact that WrestleMania is being sold to the highest bidder,
dude, not just WrestleMania. If I could remind you, also John Cena's final match is not going in Boston, not happening in Boston. It's happening in Washington because they were the hierarchy. No, it's Washington.
No, Madison Square Garden.
No, it's not Madison Square Garden. It's Washington D.C.
Okay.
It's Washington D.C.
I thought it was MSG. Okay.
It's Washington D.C. And for what? Because they paid more money. That's what I meant, right? Cena, you have that pull, but you turn to shit, and this is what you get. We're not doing that, and probably Trump will show up if it's happening in Washington.
Donald Trump will be there because Donald Trump is in the WWE Hall of Fame. He's also been a regular.
He's probably going to be there.
Yeah, he will be there, dude. He will be there. See, the biggest thing that we seem to forget is that Donald Trump has been a lifelong WWE fan.
Yep.
Like right from the beginning. I mean, even before the whole WrestleMania 24 shenanigans that they had, see, Donald Trump has been a lifelong wrestling fan. Just like a bunch of the people. So I wouldn't be surprised if President Trump showed up at the show. And half the arena will be Secret Service, but that's a whole other story.
Yeah, I think that is the right time to end this podcast for today because I don't want to give anyone any happy time right now. That is.
Please don't screw me over either.
Please don't screw me with that. I'm not coming to your place, so. I'm okay being a skateboard. I'm okay being a Jack Penny.
Okay, enough trivia for one night. Coming back. I hate the fact that they're holding this whole thing hostage to money. Because John Cena's retirement in Boston would have been the perfect textbook ending for John Cena's career. And it would have been the perfect send-off to Boston for giving them such a great wrestler. Or do it in Tampa where John Cena currently lives. I would have been okay with that too. But I really don't understand why TK was chasing money so hard.
They have lost it for me. I think I can imagine them making us feel good about making us reminisce the Vince McMahon days.
Dude, I really want Vince to come back. This is so wrong to me. I mean, this sounds so wrong to say out loud, but I think Vince coming back would do better to this business right now than.
I agree as well. But I don't want who I gave a rapist a sand, so
Yeah, okay, that's again a whole different story. See, that whole lawsuit thing, I'll not get into it, and the fact that Vince is involved with something like that absolutely makes me want to puke all over him or whatever.
really like it though, Krishna. Easy to
Make me want to kick him in the nut so hard. He is not going to like that. They would kick him in the nut so hard, but honestly, that's Vince McMahon, the human being, and I'm talking about Vince McMahon, the booker.
yeah. We will to play that yet.
Yeah, Vince McMahon, the booker, is so much better than Triple H, the booker in 2025. And I really don't see why I shouldn't expect Vince to be back, other than the fact that he's whatever he is, or whatever he's done.
That's just wait with that's just the waiting now. And it's just upsetting the way the WWE is right now and we can't do anything about it.
I don't know, dude. I really hope for things to get better. So I really hope for things to go the right course and get better for either one of them, right? So if whatever Janelle Grant says is true, I want her to feel better at the end of this. Or if the courts believe Vince is being unlawfully pointed at, I really hope for things to get better for him too. But at the end of the day, whichever way this thing sways, I want all parties to feel better at the end of it.
Agree. I mean,
So, yeah. But the way that I see it, honestly, Triple H, there was that initial spark that was there, dude. Like Triple H,
that is now gone completely. That's completely gone.
I think it's also got something to do with the fact that he doesn't interact with the NXT talent as much as he did earlier. Because if you look at how he's pushed his NXT talent from the beginning, people like Finn Balor or whatever, you will see that they've been established so well that you look at people like Grayson Waller now. Triple H is finding a really hard time to establish Grayson Waller on the main roster. Yes, Grayson Waller, while I wouldn't call him a mediocre in ring performer, but he's not the best. He's up there. He's a decent in ring performer.
You are fine wrestler. He's a fine personality to be on TV.
So he's got a great personality, and he's more than decent as a wrestler. More than decent as a wrestler. And to see him struggling to find his footing like that is so depressing.
Yeah.
And you can also look at who's the other NXT call-up? There was one more.
Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah, Carmelo Hayes is struggling to find his footing just as hard. And Triple H has worked closely with him, but not very closely. So I can see why it's struggling.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, also look at Lyra Valkyria or people like that. Lyra Valkyria is struggling too. She's another NXT call-up who came up right around that time. And she's struggling just like the rest of these people. So the way that I see it, I think somehow Hunter needs to be held responsible for murdering these people's career.
I think Lyra is doing much better than the others, but they have not. He's just not just murdered them. He's butchered it. I don't want to say careers. I think obviously in later half they can pick it up, but right now they are not doing anything, and the age thing is going so quickly. They're not going to be young. They're not going to be young forever.
Dude, Julia. Look at Julia. What is Julia doing? Julia is supposed to be one of the biggest.
She's not a champion. She's the United States champion and nothing else.
Dude, she's a United States champion. How many times has she defended that title since winning it 6 months ago?
Exact. Not doing anything.
Dude, she's arguably the biggest acquisition of WWE from Japan in the female division.
After Asuka or Yusuke, but
Dude, Asuka, see, the great thing about Asuka was Asuka never trained in Japan. Asuka came from Dragon Gate, California. So she was acquired when she was in America. But Julia was specifically brought in from Japan all the way to the United States, and he was given a massive singles run in NXT and a tag team run alongside Stephanie Wacker in NXT, and then called up to the main roster and given the mid-card title to do what? To bring in another NXT wrestler who masquerades as a business consultant. I mean, they're wasting two talent. Kiana James was a great talent too. Like, some of her matches in NXT are actually good. And you just brought Kiana James, slapped a suit on her.
Alba Fire. What is Alba Fire Piper even doing there? Nothing.
Isla Dawn got released for tag team part. Like,
There is Alba Fire. Nothing.
I mean, they're just murdering NXT talent. It's so hard. So hard. So yeah, I think we could go on ranting about this all night, but yeah, we have to slap the curtain shut at some point. So I think we've reached that point, and I get the people are not as depressed as we are thinking about all of this. Actually, because we want them to tune back next week.
So yeah, make sure we'll be back with Wrestlepalooza as well as
Going to have a talk about Wrestlepalooza and All Out.
Yep.
This should have been a hype show for Wrestlepalooza and All Out, and look at what we did for an hour. We've given the people a serious reality check. That's what we do at the Wrestling Folks podcast. So, yeah, this is Chris Rhodes,
this is G1 Punk.
and I think it's time for us to sign off, people. So, thank you so much. Keep tuning in. Find us everywhere you get your podcasts and on YouTube. And we'll see you next week.